Hi, I'm Jerry Myron with RectorSeal. We're going to talk today about thread sealants, fluxes, PVC cements, and primers. The agenda on the thread sealants, we're going to have a product overview, application, customers to target, key competitors, competitive positioning, why we are better, and then objections you can expect to hear and how to overcome those. So what are thread sealants called? They're called pipe dope, thread compound, thread sealant paste, or even pipe thread sealants. They're called a variety of things, but everyone knows we're talking about thread sealants. And what are thread sealants used for? Thread sealants are provided as an effective seal for pipes, fittings, joining together, transporting liquids, gases, steam, hydraulic, refrigerant, and there are specifications for threads. The American National Standard Pipe Thread has standards, the NPT. NPT is the National Pipe Taper. There's a standard for tapered fittings, and then there's also a standard for straight fittings, NPS, National Pipe Straight. You'll hear in the field, are the threads cut according to the NPT standard? So that's what we refer to with our sealants. Let's talk about the different types of thread sealants. We have soft set, non-setting, flexible firm set, and a hard set thread sealants. Examples of the soft set, RectorSeal number 5, RectorSeal number 7, RectorSeal number 21. Non-setting means essentially how it comes out of the container is exactly how it's going to go on the fittings. It will remain, it will not set. And a flexible and firm set is one that's designed for high vibration applications, where that high vibration is not going to break that seal. And then a hard set is one that it takes an 800-pound gorilla to break that joint, that seal. And RectorSeal doesn't offer a hard set. There are approvals. You have a UL approval, a UPC for a Uniform Plumbing Code. You have CSA. You have the ULC. You have NSF, which essentially means it's a low lead content. It's safe for potable waters, NSF. And then you have FBC, and those are ancillary products intended to be used with CPVC, and the FBC helps determine whether a product is chemically compatible with FlowGuard, BlazeMaster, Corzen, and it's just a Temporite Technology CPVC piping systems, and so they have their approved chemicals, thread sealants to use. Now, PTFE used to be referred to as Teflon versus a non-PTFE thread sealants. There's a difference between the two. PTFE helps with in lubrication when assembling or removing the fittings from the pipe. And really, whether a contractor uses PTFE or not, it's really contractor preference. Although there are specific applications depending on which thread sealant you use. And here we have a chart. This is found in our plumbing catalog as well as our website. And it gives you different applications on that left column that you see there, the different fluids that will go through that piping. And it helps the selection process. You can see the different types of thread sealants RectorSeal offers on the top column. Let's talk about the different thread sealants. RectorSeal number 5. It is a soft set, slow drying. It's yellow in color. It's essentially been the standard in the industry as a thread sealant. It's multi-purpose, whether it's going to be for water or gas. PSI for liquid is 12,000 PSI and 2,600 PSI for gas. It pressurizes immediately up to a maximum of 100 PSI and a maximum of 2-inch pipe. It's safe for all metal pipes, PVC, and PEX pipe. And it has a minimum 2-year shelf life. In fact, all of our thread sealants have a 2-year shelf life. You can see the approved letters, NSF, UPC, CSA, and UL and ULC. Next product we have is T+2. It's a non-setting, immediate pressure, PTFE enriched. You can tell when you look inside whether it's a PTFE products, the enriched fibers that you see. Here you can see the PTFE fibers, very obvious. Again, it adds to the lubrication when you are putting the fittings on or even taking the fittings off. T+2 is Teflon or PTFE enriched. It is white in color. It is also multiple purpose, whether it's water or gas, but it's 10,000 psi for liquids and it's 2,000 psi for gas, a little bit less than the soft set of RectorSeal number 5. It's safe on all metal pipes, all plastic pipes, and you can see it is NSF, which means it's water potable. It's a low lead product or lead-free product. UPC, CSA. This one does have the FBC approval on it. tru-blu. tru-blu is a flexible set, fast drying, high vibration areas, refrigeration areas, industrial areas. It's again to be used where you do not want to risk that fitting to break or that thread sealant to break and to let whatever's traveling through it, the piping, to come out. You can see that the tru-blu is blue in color. It's multiple purpose for water or gas, safe on PVC, PEX, and all metal pipe, minimum 2-year shelf life. Then we have Blu Plus. Blu Plus, like T+2, is a non-setting, immediate pressurized product. PTFE enriched, blue in color, multi-purpose, water or gas, performance such as PSI for water, 10,000 PSI, just like it is for T+2, and 2,000 PSI on gas applications. So, and also a minus 15 degrees to 400 degrees Fahrenheit service temperature. Safe on all metal and all plastic pipe. Again, a minimum 2-year shelf life. And again, because of the PTFE, it is also approved by FBC applications, as well as NSF, potable waters, UPC, CSA, ULC. So when someone asks you if you have a blue thread sealant, you should really ask them a question, what is the purpose? Because many times people would buy tru-blu because of its color of blue, but tru-blu can only be used on PVC and metallic pipe. It can't be used on ABS or CPVC. So when you need something that's going to be blue, or they want something that's blue, again, that's contractor preference, but it is going to be used on ABS and CPVC, that's when you want to recommend to them the Blu Plus. And then RectorSeal number 5 Special. It is a non-setting, immediate pressurization, but it is a low odor applications. So where that's going to be used is when gas companies would use a leak detector, an electronic leak detector, to check for gas leaks. And if they're using RectorSeal number 5, that would set the alarm off. So number 5 Special is a low odor, so it would not set off any electronic leak detectors for those gas lines. It's gray in color. It's safe on all metal, PVC, and PEX. And again, it has a 2-year shelf life. Then RectorSeal number 5, Sub-Zero, just as the name says, non-setting, immediate pressurization, gray in color, but its applications you can apply as low as minus 35 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's cold, not just cold weather, but actually all weather climates. Safe on all metal, PVC, and PEX, and again, 2-year shelf life. RectorSeal number 21 is a soft set. It is black in color. It is multi-purpose, water or gas, but that's going to be used in black in color. It's going to be used where there's like exposed sprinkler systems, anywhere where there's the tenant perhaps has a very open area and doesn't want a color to throw it off, a yellowish color like our RectorSeal 5. So when that's the case, but they want the applications that RectorSeal 5 is to be used with, well, then you can use our Blackjack RectorSeal number 21. RectorSeal 7 is a soft set, slow dry, also black in color, but it doesn't have any of those UL, CSA, NSF approvals. It is just formulated for those corrosive, caustic chemicals, hydraulic applications, not to be used for plastic pipes. So again, a very specific application that you cannot use any of the thread sealants with. And again, a 2-year shelf life. And of course, we have PTFE tape, 100% pure PTFE, resistant to most liquids, gases. We have it available in various widths and lengths. Some cases you can use PTFE tape in addition to the sealant. But you really want to check our application sheet to see at what diameter would it be recommended to use both a tape as well as a sealant. So it's going to be the much larger applications, not every application. Let's talk about in the field how to tighten pipe and fittings with a thread sealant. Most of the people in the field, and it's understandable, but they're just going to put a thread sealant on the male side only. We say you need to apply it to both the male and the female for all those applications, and for the strengths and the PSI that we say it can handle. Follow the instructions. You're going to put the sealant on both the male and the female threads. You're going to then connect the fittings without causing any cross-threading. And if you feel after you're starting to rotate it, you feel it kind of bind up a little bit, then you need to undo it and then check to make sure you've cleared out any kind of burrs or anything that's causing any obstacle at all inside that pipe to affect the integrity of that thread. Turn it with your hands until you can't turn it anymore. Then you're going to get a pipe wrench and turn it another turn or two. And then you have a very good, tightly sealed joint. Here is a thread sealant comparison chart. With our RectorSeal 5 and with our T+2 and Blue Plus and the third column tru-blu, you can see the list of the competitors' products. RectorSeal 5 has been the industry standard, so you have a product from Millrose called Blue Monster. From Hercules, you have Pro-Dope. And you can see the different competitive products depending on what they're looking for. This is a good sheet to have. Here's another sheet to show competition. Laco, Slick Tight, that is really more of it's a PTFE, and they're trying to compete with the T+2. And then the Blue Monster, that's going to be kind of comparable to our Blue Plus and RectorSeal number 5. Leak Lock is going to be a high vibration, but Leak Lock is also a hard set. So that's the one that will take the 800-pound gorilla to break free. Mega Lock, they'd like to go after our RectorSeal 5 type business, but really their applications is going to be T+2. And then, of course, push fit fittings. That's also a competitive product. Combine it with whether it's PVC, PEX, or even metal pipes. So that's a competitive product that we just have to accept. And then you also have Real Tough and Odie. Those last two products on the bottom are comparable to our T+2. Objections to overcome. It's a very slow growth market. That's just something you have to accept. Contractor preference of pipe versus using pipe with fittings, and you have to use the thread sealants. It's a very mature, competitive market. And then also push fit fittings is also getting in the way of increasing thread sealant business. Why RectorSeal thread sealants? RectorSeal 5 has been the industry standard in thread sealants for probably 40, 50 years. It's a preferred brand by contractors and handymen. Proven performance, proven reliability. Now we're going to talk about Fluxes and the agenda for Fluxes. Product overview, application, customers to target, key competitors and competitive positioning, what makes RectorSeal Fluxes better, and objections that you can expect to hear and how to overcome those. So Fluxes. Fluxes. What is soldering? Soldering is a process in which two or more metal items are joined together by melting a filler metal, also known as solder. It works because solder has a lower melting point than the adjoining metal. And soldering provides a reasonably permanent, but you can reverse it if you have to. You can just heat up those fittings and reverse the fittings if necessary, but it is an acceptable form. Here are the different applications: copper pipes for plumbing, circuit boards, electronic components, metal work, roof flashing. Then it's also important to know the differences between soldering and brazing. Both are joining two metals together with solder. The only difference is the temperature in which it melts. So soldering that has a melting point of the solder lower than 797 degrees Fahrenheit, that's soldering. Brazing is the melting point of that solder that's higher than 797 degrees Fahrenheit. That leads us to flux. What is flux? I like that the Latin word means flow, because that's actually what the flux is. It's a cleaning compound. It's a flowing agent, a purifying agent. But as I said earlier, different fluxes, different applications require different fluxes. So let's talk about no corrode, regular paste. This has also been an industry standard. The regular paste is an all-purpose flux. It's lead-free. It's certified to the NSG ANSI 61 Annex G, which means it's safe for potable waters. The regular paste, it cleans and fluxes in one direction. It flows smoothly into even the smallest of cavity. It also has a special oil base that protects the solder joint against corrosion after it's been soldered together. It's low spattering, and it can be used with 95-5, 60-40, 50-50, and 40-60 solder. No corrode aquaflux. This meets the ASTM B813, and that means that you can wipe away the excess flux from the outside, but also internally, that it's safe to be flushed out with the water. It's also lead-free. It's also NSF ANSI 61 NXG. It can be used on all types of soft solder. Like I said earlier, it's 95-5, 60-40, 50-50, and 40-60. It pre-cleans, has a superior wetting ability, and allows that solder to flow easily and uniformly into the joint, and it has a very cream and smooth consistency. No corrode hot weather paste flux. It's formulated to remain thick even in the hot weather applications up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. We had learned years ago that for those applications where they're trying to apply the flux and it's 100 degrees out, that regular paste, no corrode regular paste, would just be, it would liquefy more than it needs to be. It needs to have that consistency to help the copper, help the solder go into the joint. When you apply it to the copper, you want it to remain over the surface of the copper. It's lead free. It cleans and fluxes a joint all in at one point. It flows smoothly into even the smallest cavity. Can be used on with all types of solder: 95-5, 60-40, 50-50, and 40-60. And then we also have a cold weather paste flux. It remains soft and sticky in the cold weather applications down to minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit. It's also lead free. It also flows smoothly into the smallest cavity. It's low scorching and can be used on all types of solder: 95-5, 60-40, 50-50, 50-50, and 40-60. And then we have the no corrode 95-5 pre-tinning flux. It's great for the large diameter fittings. It actually has some solder components in it. It is formulated to clean, pre-tin, and flux all in one motion. It's low spattering, has a very smooth consistency for an easy brush-on application. But as you can see, it is not NSF ANSI 61 Annex G approved. And here's the competition. You can see the OD number 5, the Laco Flux OD95, which is really going to be more like our 95-5 Flux. OD H20, that's going to be comparable to our Aqua Flux. You have Stay-Silv. We don't really have a competitive product with the Stay-Silv. And then the Everflux is another one that is pretty similar to the Aqua Flux applications. Objections to overcome: the use of push fit fittings. That is just what's happening in our industry. It's hard to overcome that. Plastic pipe, PVC, CPVC, and then the growing use of PEX pipe. So that's just how the evolution of our industry is taken. Is it's going to those easier to use, work great provided they're installed correctly. But why no corrode? RectorSeal's no corrode flux products. As you can see, the name brand, it's had over 125 years in the business. It's been a contractor's choice. It has a proven performance. Our agenda for the PVC solvent cements and primers, going to do a product overview, application, target customers, key competitors, the competitive positioning of the PVC cements and primers, why are we better than the competition, and objections you can expect to see and how to overcome those. So what is plastic solvent cements for PVCs? It is not just a glue. In fact, we don't refer to it as a glue. It works by dissolving the surfaces of the pipe and the fitting, and together the PVC filler in the cement forms a nice single component. Now let's talk about the types of plastic pipe. We have PVC, CPVC, and those top two are expected to be pressurized with fluids. And then you have ABS, and ABS is going to be mostly drain, waste, or vent applications. How to use plastic solvent cements. You're going to cut the pipe after you've cut it to length that you want, and you're going to make sure that fitting or the pipe is cut nice and straight. You're going to deburr the edges off of it, and then you're going to apply a cleaner if it needs a cleaner. But it is usually going to apply both the primer and the cement. So if you need a cleaner, use a cleaner. but you need to use a primer. That is what's going to etch that PVC surface and the fitting, and then you're going to use a solvent cement. Put cement on the inside of the female and on the outside of the male fitting. Insert the pipe, turn that fitting until you just can't turn it anymore. That's going to be a solid joint there. Gene 404L. Now the L that you're going to notice with these products, that stands for the low VOC, the volatile organic compounds. We provided that product probably 8 years ago. So we have Gene 404L. It is a regular body, fast set, NSF approved for potable water systems, certified for performances of the ASTM 2564, LEED compliance for use on PVC pipe 2-inch Schedule 40 and up to 4-inch Schedule 40 DWV pipe. It does have NSF and it does have UPC-IAPMO listed. P, 602L. 602L, it's probably for plumbing our #1 product. It's a medium body, clear color as well, NSF approved for potable water systems, UPC-IAPMO listed, ASTM 2564. It is a fast set, it's LEED compliant for use on PVC Schedule 40 up to 6 inches and 1¼ inch Schedule 80 pipe. And John 647L is a low VOC ABS cement. It's a medium body formula, ASTM D2235, black in color, UPC-IAPMO, but it is going to be for use on DWV piping Schedule 40 and Schedule 80 up to 6 inches. Charlie 412L. It's a regular body CPVC solvent cement for joining CPVC pipe and socket type fittings. It's orange in color. It is a fast set, regular body for use on the PVC Schedule 40 pipe and fittings up to 2 inches. UPC-IAPMO, it meets the ASTM F493 if that's required, and it is LEED compliant. The DuraGold 671, that was originally designed for the FlowGuard gold pipe systems as a single step, not requiring the use of a primer. However, we always say you should use primer with all the cements, but it is a medium body, it is a medium set, it's golden color, it is LEED compliant, it meets the ASTM F493 as well, and approved for all CPVC uses, including potable water. RectorSeal Gold 844L, a premium polyvinyl PVC solvent cement used for joining PVC pipe and socket. This is a heavy body premium product. It just has a better gap filling characteristics. Medium set, clear in color, LEED compliant. It exceeds ASTM D2564. It is UPC-IAPMO listed and NSF approved for potable waters. Hot 203L is a very fast set medium body, blue in color. It is LEED compliant. Even in the pool industry, they really like this product because they're dealing with bigger pipes, but they're also in a situation where they need to pressurize immediately. So they want something that just has a faster set to it. So that's what Hot 203L is. Excellent in cold weather applications and for use Schedule 40 pipe up to 6 inches and 1¼ inch Schedule 80. And then we have our primers. Y purple, Y clear primer. So the Gem PR1L is the purple primer, and then the clear PR2L is the clear primer. They're high etch primers that you use for PVC and CPVC pipe and fittings. Both are the same product. except the color. And all that is going to be because of an inspector on the job site, whatever the job is. But it may be that that inspector wants to see purple to make sure that the job has not just cement, but it also has purple where it has been etched. And then we have Bill PR3. This is a big seller for us. It doesn't have any of the approvals, not NSF, not LEED compliant, but there are applications where an economical primer is sufficient. So use of PVC and CPVC pipe applications. It's safe for potable waters, but it doesn't have that NSF approval on it. Every time you pay for an approval, you're adding cost to a product. So this is one that is the economical, fast-acting, high-etch primer. And then in 2018, we came up with a new PVC solvent cement applicator. It's a 2-in-1 applicator. You can see the long brush on this thing. It makes for those big pipes that you have, especially in the electrical industry, where they just want to make a swipe through it and they're done. But it also comes with a metal top. That makes pouring from a gallon so much easier. But it is a 2-in-1 applicator. It is sold separately, and there's 4 per case. Then we have our comparison sheet, or the application sheet for solvent cements, primers, and cleaners. On the left column, you'll see here are what we're looking for. Here are the specifications we're looking for. And then on the top row, these are the different types of cements, primers, and cleaners. And here is the competition. You can see the long list, Odie, Milrose, Christie's, Hercules. IPS and Coty are probably the 2 dominant that you'll see out there. And if you have any questions, if you need these charts, you can get it on our website, RectorSeal.com. It's now shown in the solvent cement catalog. We have a plumbing catalog, and that information is provided for you. So if you do have any questions or you'd like some information to be sent to you, please email me at jerry.myron@RectorSeal.com. It's been a pleasure talking to you.